watch as ordinary people capture the most unsettling footage that no one can explain. From terrifying cryptid encounters to ghostly apparitions,
oh my god,
these are the moments that don't have any explanation. During a live stream, a girl noticed her curtain move slightly. Without thinking, she jumped up, punched the fabric, and yanked the curtain back. She glanced outside, then slammed the window shut. Viewers were left confused. Did she actually see something, or was it just nerves?
So for today's drink...
Whatever it was, her reaction was intense and left everyone uneasy. Possessed prank. Two girls were live on camera, chatting about horror stories when things got really weird. One of them suddenly went quiet, her face going blank, staring straight ahead like she was in a trance. Her friend noticed something was off and tried to snap her out of it, but the girl just kept staring back with this eerie, almost lifeless look. The tension was real, and viewers were starting to freak out. Was she possessed? Just as the atmosphere hit peak creepiness, the girl suddenly broke character, revealing it was just a prank. 4 p.m. Horror. This one's straight up nightmare fuel. Just before New Year's Eve, a TikTok video surfaced that had everyone questioning reality. A family had set up security cameras inside their house after experiencing some weird stuff. One afternoon, at around 4 p.m., the footage caught something truly eerie. A Chucky doll sitting in a chair, moving on its own. At first, it just sat there, completely still, surrounded by mint green walls. But then, slowly, its head turned toward the camera. As if that wasn't creepy enough, the doll started looking from left to right, almost like it was scanning the room. Nobody was in there to move it, and the family couldn't believe their eyes. Phantom knock.
Vai embora da minha casa agora!
Ever heard your own family member calling for you, only to remember they're miles away? That's what happened to this guy while he was hanging out with a friend at home. Out of nowhere, he heard his wife's voice calling from outside a locked door, followed by persistent knocking. Confused, he froze. His wife was supposed to be out of town, so how was her voice coming from the other side? Feeling uneasy, he whipped out his phone and went live on Instagram to record the moment. As the knocking grew louder, he finally opened the door. Nothing. Just an empty hallway. The live chat went wild, trying to make sense of what just happened.
Você não é bem-vindo aqui.
Ghost uses filter. A couple was messing around with filters when something weird happened. They took a selfie near a framed picture of an animated girl, and the filter, which should only work on living things, suddenly recognized the image. For a split second, it looked like the animated girl came to life, as if the filter had interacted with her. The couple froze, confused about what just happened. Was it just a glitch? Or did the filter actually pick up something more than just a picture? Basement footsteps. It was a quiet night until a couple started hearing strange noises from the basement. At first, they brushed it off, but the sounds got louder, making the guy uneasy. Deciding to check it out while live streaming, he headed downstairs. Everything seemed normal. Nothing looked out of place.
Hello?
Just as he was about to head back up, he heard heavy footsteps behind him. Spooked, he turned around, but no one was there.
Oh my god!
Feeling freaked out, he quickly left the basement, the echo of those footsteps still haunting his thoughts long after the stream ended.
Oh my god!
Creep caught live. A woman was casually chatting with her viewers on Twitch when something creepy caught her eye. Outside her window, a dark figure stood in the shadows, its long hair hanging over its face. It didn't move. just stared straight into her room, giving off an eerie vibe. She paused, while the chat blew up with worried messages. Frozen with fear, she couldn't look away. It felt like the figure knew it was being watched. Was it just her imagination playing tricks, or was something sinister lurking outside her window? Silent scream. While live streaming, a girl was finishing up some laundry when she noticed something that made her stop in her tracks. At the top of the bathroom door, a pale figure stood, screaming, but not a sound came out. Her heart pounded, and without thinking, she rushed to the other side of the wall. When she looked back, the bathroom was completely empty. No figure, no noise, just an eerie silence. She stood frozen, trying to process what had just happened, but the haunting image stayed with her. What had she really seen? Live stream nightmare. Imagine going live just chatting with your viewers when something horrifying crawls into view behind you. That's exactly what happened to this girl during her stream. At first, it was just strange noises coming from the kitchen, barely noticeable. But then, the noises grew louder, and her curiosity turned to fear. Slowly, a figure crawled out into the open. A twisted shape with long, tangled hair dragging on the floor and a disturbingly red, almost glowing face. Moving on all fours, it crept closer, silent and deliberate. The girl didn't move or scream. She just sat there, frozen, eyes locked on the screen, as if trying to convince herself it wasn't real. Poltergeist stream. This Twitch streamer was having a normal session when the atmosphere suddenly shifted. Without warning, the doors behind him creaked open, then slammed shut on their own.
Yes, Lydia. Oh my!
The lights flickered, throwing shadows around the room. As if that wasn't enough, items on his desk began sliding around like they had a mind of their own. He tried to stay calm, glancing back and forth between the screen and the chaos behind him. His viewers were losing it, flooding the chat with messages, but he just couldn't make sense of it. The unsettling part? No one else was around. Gone wrong. During a live stream, a man noticed something strange. Just a quick, dark movement across the room. He paused, eyes darting toward the kitchen. At first, he thought it was just his imagination, but the chat was already blowing up. Viewers insisted they'd seen a shadow moving toward the kitchen. He turned back to the camera, unsure of what to do, but couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't alone. The kitchen remained empty. No sign of anyone or anything. Moving shadow. This next piece of home security footage has left viewers scratching their heads. At first, everything in the clip seems completely normal, just a calm, empty pathway. But then, something strange happens. Out of nowhere, a shadowy shape appears, moving smoothly and purposefully along the path. It glides across the screen before vanishing to the left, almost as if it never existed. The eerie movement has sparked plenty of speculation online, with some suggesting it might be a shadow figure or even a ghost caught on camera. Forced participation. This video is straight up creepy. A man sits at a table, looking tense, while strange costumed figures stand silently around him. One of them places a dish in front of him, but he hesitates, clearly uncomfortable. His eyes keep darting to the camera. People online think he might have been kidnapped and forced into this bizarre setup. No one knows where it was filmed or why it exists, making it even more unsettling. Shadow lurker. He was chatting with her audience, completely unaware that a dark, shadowy figure had started to appear in the corner. At first, it was barely noticeable, but then it slowly moved closer, inch by inch. Viewers noticed it before she did, flooding the chat with warnings. But she stayed oblivious, too caught up in her story. It wasn't until later, when she watched the footage, that she saw it. Something was definitely there, lurking just behind her. Smiling knife lady. This one's just plain creepy. A live video has been going around showing a woman with a weird, unchanging smile holding a knife. She's just standing there, slowly moving the knife toward a fish on the table. But there's something seriously off about the way she's doing it. Her eyes don't blink, and that unsettling grin never leaves her face. The longer you watch, the more uncomfortable it gets. It's like you're waiting for something awful to happen, but it never does. Shadow gamer. Gaming is supposed to be a way to chill, right? Well, for this guy, it turned into a nightmare. Fully immersed in his game, wearing his headset, he noticed a shadow moving past the corridor. Thinking he was just seeing things, he stood up to check around the house. Empty. No one else was there. But then, doors started to open and close on their own. He turned, and there it was again. That same dark figure near the kitchen. Before he could even react, his chair slid back by itself across the floor. That was it. He bolted out of the house, leaving the game and the terrifying mystery behind. Unreal Mask. This video has been blowing up online, and for good reason. At first, it seems like another boring self-recorded clip. A man casually talking to the camera, but then he removes a mask. And that's when things get weird. Underneath the mask, his face is alien-like, almost featureless. Like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. People can't decide if it's a super creepy prank or if something far more sinister is going on. Is it proof of the paranormal? Or maybe even extraterrestrial? The mystery only deepens, and now no one can stop talking about it. Knocking ghost. What started as a sweet, innocent song recording for her mom took a dark turn for this girl. In the middle of singing, a soft knock echoed through the room. So soft she almost ignored it. But when it came again louder, she froze. Cautiously, she walked to the door, and that's when the camera caught something even stranger. A hand appeared above the doorframe. She opened the door. Nothing. But when she went back to her spot, the knocking continued, and her bedsheet slipped off the bed as if moved by an unseen force. She was alone, yet she couldn't shake the feeling that she wasn't. Unseen watcher. While FaceTiming his wife and having a peaceful moment with his kids, this man noticed something terrifying in the reflection of his phone screen. A creepy figure standing eerily behind him. He spun around, but the figure vanished in an instant. The room was empty. The children were asleep, and there was no explanation for what he had just seen. The house remained silent, but the unsettling feeling lingered, and he couldn't shake the thought that something or someone had been there with him. Twisted lady. What started as an ordinary live video took a dark turn. A beautiful lady sat quietly, not saying a word, but then something strange happened. Slowly, she raised her hand, pointing directly at the viewers as if beckoning them to follow her. She backed up toward an open cupboard, and as she stepped into the shadows, her face twisted into something horrifying. Her features became distorted, and her eyes began to glow, just like the creepy nun from the movies. The calm stream turned disturbing, and viewers flooded the chat in confusion. Was she a person, or something else entirely? FaceTime horror. A man was casually FaceTiming his friend when the mood shifted. He noticed his door moving, as if someone was trying to open it from the other side. Confused and uneasy, he stepped outside to check, but found no one. As he walked back into his room, another door inside the room started opening and closing by itself.
What the f? No. Oh!
It didn't stop there. Objects around the house shifted, like an invisible force was at play. He was witnessing it all in real time, unable to explain what was happening.
lying. Oh, no.
Skinwalker stare. Vicky, an elderly woman, was enjoying a quiet evening alone at home when she noticed something terrifying. From the other room, a strange creature peered at her through the doorway. Her heart raced. There was no one else around, and she didn't have any pets. The creature's eyes were unsettling, and its presence sent chills down her spine. Frozen in place, she couldn't explain what she was seeing. Now, Vicky believes what she saw might have been a skinwalker, and the thought of it still haunts her. Doll's hand.
Cositos. Tengo esta tacita, cosita.
This little girl was recording herself while playing with her doll when something strange happened. At first, everything seemed normal, but then the doll's hand twitched on its own.
Y esta tacita.
The girl paused, unsure if she had seen it right, but then the hand moved again, this time more clearly. Terrified, she immediately stopped the video, ran out of the room, and rushed to her mom, leaving everything behind. The camera continued to record the empty room, capturing the eerie silence where the strange event had just taken place.
¿Sí?
Watching eyes. During a live stream, a man was casually talking to his viewers when something strange caught everyone's attention. Behind him on the wall was a photo frame of a woman, seemingly ordinary. But as he continued speaking, viewers began noticing something disturbing. The eyes of the woman in the photo were moving. They seemed to follow the camera, shifting as if watching the live stream too. The man was unaware, but the chat exploded with comments. Some dismissed it as a trick of the light, but others were convinced the woman in the picture wasn't just a photo. She was staring at everyone watching, alive in a way they couldn't explain. Shadowy figure.
And show y'all that the picture came from in the backyard.
Imagine casually talking to your viewers during a live stream, recounting a terrifying encounter, when suddenly something darts across the screen. That's exactly what happened to a Facebook user in June 2020. As he shared his eerie experience with what seemed like a werewolf or dogman, the room behind him suddenly darkened. Out of nowhere, a tall, shadowy figure rushed across the frame, moving too quickly to be a person or an animal. His reaction was instant. He slammed the door behind him, his face drained of color. The figure vanished as fast as it appeared.
This is the exact spot that I just...
Kitchen nightmare.
Le di no mames 16 minutos.
This girl was home alone one evening, enjoying some quiet time, when she started hearing strange noises from the kitchen. At first, she brushed it off, thinking it was just the house settling. But as the sounds grew louder, she couldn't shake the feeling something was wrong. Deciding to record the kitchen with her phone, she stepped outside for a moment. When she came back and watched the footage, her heart sank. An object had fallen from the counter, but what terrified her the most was the shadowy figure that appeared behind it, staring directly at the camera. Panicked and unable to explain what she had just seen, she ran out of the house, leaving the mystery unsolved.
Me está dando miedo. Te lo juro que está temblando. No! No mames! No mames!
Woody's movement. One afternoon, a man was searching for his dog when he stumbled upon something that made him question everything. He entered the living room to find his dog sitting next to Woody, the cowboy toy from Toy Story. But what made this scene unsettling was that the toy seemed to be interacting with the dog, as though it was alive. In disbelief, the man moved closer, but as soon as he did, Woody fell over, lifeless, like a regular doll. Was it just a strange coincidence, or was something much more bizarre going on here? Shadow in hall.
It's okay. I can see you.
Ghost hunters were called to investigate a house plagued by strange noises, footsteps running up and down the stairs with no one around. The house had a tragic history. A little boy had died in a fire years before. During the investigation, one of the hunters called out to the boy's spirit. What happened next would send chills down anyone's spine. In front of the camera, a shadowy figure, small, quickly passed by. The room was empty, and the air grew thick with an unsettling presence. The team stood frozen, stunned, unable to explain what they had just witnessed.
No. Turn towards me like you were earlier. Put your back towards me.
Vanishing child. While streaming live from an abandoned house, a man wandered into an old bathroom. As he panned the camera around, something strange caught his eye, a small child's figure hiding behind the wall. At first, he thought it was just a trick of the light, but as he moved closer, the figure became clearer. The child crouched, staring directly at him. But before he could approach, the child vanished without a trace, disappearing into thin air. Viewers were left shocked and confused by what they'd just witnessed. Night shift haunting.
No mames.
Two nurses in a Mexican hospital were passing time during a quiet night shift, filming each other on a phone. Suddenly, something eerie caught their attention. A dark figure moved quickly past a doorway in the background. Alarmed, they rushed to the operating room to check, but it was completely empty. There were no other exits, and no one was inside. As they stood there, a medical table slowly slid across the floor by itself. Frozen with fear, they called the authorities. But even after searching every corner, no one could explain the incident. The unsettling footage left many wondering if the hospital was truly haunted.
No mames, pasó algo, te lo juro que pasó algo, ¿eh? ¡Se mueve! Vete a la verga. No mames.
Unnatural lunge. A short video surfaced online showing a man standing still in a dimly lit room, his eyes wide open and unblinking. Suddenly, without any warning, he lunged forward with sharp, unnatural movements, his face completely unchanged as if he were in a trance. The cameraman, startled, rushed upstairs, but the man followed, only to have the door slam shut between them. The bizarre scene left viewers in shock, unable to decide if it was a ghostly encounter or something even darker. The video remains a chilling mystery, with no clear answers as to what truly happened that night. Pale Watcher. During a live stream, a streamer chatted away casually, completely unaware of the eerie presence lurking behind her. Through the glass door, a pale, motionless figure stared at her. The door was shut, and she had no idea that something or someone was silently watching her. Viewers in the chat noticed right away, frantically trying to get her attention, but she remained oblivious. It wasn't until later, when reviewing the footage, that she saw it, a pale face fixed on her through the glass. The unsettling moment left her speechless, unsure if it was a person or something far more disturbing. Hospital mystery. A grandson was spending the night at the hospital to watch over his grandmother. The lights were dim, and the hallway outside was silent when something strange happened. A medical machine near the wall began moving on its own, slowly rolling across the room and stopping right in front of his bed. Startled, he grabbed his phone and recorded the eerie moment. The machine's wheels moved quietly, almost as if guided by an invisible hand. When he asked the staff about it, they insisted the machine couldn't move without being pushed. unseen guest.
Hey, baby.
When this mother kept on hearing strange voices coming from her daughter's room for days, she got fed up and decided to set up a camera in the hallway to record her room. What she captured was chilling. In the video, her daughter sat on the bed, playing with her toys. But just in front of her, a dark, shadowy figure was seated, silently watching the child. As soon as the mother walked in, the figure vanished without a trace. Shocked and terrified, she couldn't figure out if what she saw was real or just her imagination. The footage left her, and anyone who watched it completely unnerved.
Amy? Amy?
Slide Spectre. A mother was recording her child's first trip down the slide, but the happy moment turned creepy in an instant. As the little one reached the top, the camera caught something unsettling. A faint, ghostly face appeared right behind the child. The face seemed to watch from the top of the slide, completely out of place and unrelated to anyone nearby. Frozen with fear, the mother couldn't understand what she was seeing. Some thought it might be a trick of the light, but others weren't so sure. The eerie presence in the video left everyone questioning what really happened on that playground. Shifting eyes. This guy decided to go live on Instagram while exploring an old, abandoned house. At first, it was just the usual stuff: dusty furniture, creaky floors, and that musty smell you'd expect from a place that's been empty for years. Everything seemed pretty normal. That is, until he wandered into a small room filled with old dolls. At first glance, they just looked like any other creepy collectibles, eyes blank and lifeless, staring straight ahead. But as he moved through the room, things got weird. He noticed the dolls' eyes seemed to follow him. Their heads stayed perfectly still, but their gaze tracked his every move. He tried to laugh it off, but his voice shook a little, and his followers weren't buying it. Comments poured in, pointing out how the dolls' eyes definitely moved. Realizing how freaked out he was, the guy quickly left the room. Vanished in line. It was just another busy day at the airport. People were lined up at security, waiting to get their bags checked and move on. Out of nowhere, something straight out of a sci-fi movie happened. A man at the front of the line just disappeared. 1 second he was right there, holding his suitcase, and then gone. People around him froze, staring at the empty spot where he'd just been. His suitcase hit the floor, but he was nowhere to be found. At first, people online thought it had to be some kind of trick or prank, but as security swarmed the area, it was clear there was no explanation. No secret doors, no hidden passageways, just a missing person. Mysterious hand.
Go now.
A group of ghost hunters set out to explore an abandoned house, hoping to capture something eerie on camera. The place had a heavy, unsettling vibe from the start. While setting up equipment near the stairs, they kept a video call going for safety. One of the girls, sitting quietly next to the camera, suddenly froze. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw movement. A dark hand slowly creeping out from the shadows. Startled, she grabbed the camera to record, but by the time she looked again, the hand had vanished. The room was empty, and the quiet felt even heavier. The team couldn't explain what they saw, and the footage only made things creepier.
Go now.
Haunted Quinceañera. A quinceañera should be a happy event, but this video from 2013 took a creepy turn. As the girl shows off her doll, its head suddenly moves on its own, turning to face her. Startled, she drops it and runs out. The doll just lies there, but the eerie feeling sticks around. Was it a trick or something else? No one knows, and that makes it even scarier.
No manches, mira.
Subscribers pick.
and has no more than 5 years left. At the other end, Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life.
While live on TV, this reporter began acting strangely. At first, it was subtle, but soon viewers noticed her face shifting. Her skin seemed to ripple, and her features distorted, resembling something reptilian. Something similar happened to another news reporter too, where viewers noticed the reptilian face. The change was brief, but unsettling. Viewers flooded the comment section, questioning what they were witnessing. What caused this strange shift in her appearance? To this day, no one has an explanation. And with that, see you next time.